What is the Merkaba? Called by different names. It's called the chariot of fire, a vehicle of light, a personal flying saucer, a ship, etc. etc. Let's look at this powerful, secretive, and potent sacred geometry symbols of all time, the Merkaba, as we explore it ahead. The Merkaba, if you look at it structurally, is quite simply, in a two-dimensional sense, is a six-pointed star, which is the Star of David, the symbol of the Jewish religion. But quite really, it is quite a lot more than just that. Structurally, if you look at the Merkaba is actually in its three-dimensional form. The star tetrahedron in geometry is made up of two pyramids, three-dimensional pyramids. So what you see is a top view here. So the pyramid which is pointed towards you, okay, looking downward, is one pyramid, and there is another pyramid which is pointed downwards. You see the base of the pyramid here. So there are two pyramids, one on top, one from up below, interspersed, interconnected. Now the structure of the Merkaba is these two pyramids, as they rotate in counterclockwise direction, they create a force field, a ball of light around it. Right? You can see the ball of light. So when these two pyramids are put together, and then when they rotate in counterclockwise direction, the force field around it, or the ball of light, is called the Merkaba. That is why it is called the vehicle of light, or the vehicle of ascension. Why? Because in this three-dimensional space, in this space that we navigate in, we use a car to move from point A to point B faster and in a more secure environment, right? So when we start to travel beyond the physical space, the physical dimension, and go beyond to other dimensions, then the vehicle of choice for our ascended masters and high priests of mystical societies in the past has been the Merkaba. So the Merkaba worked as a force field around. When you activate it, it works as a force field around that becomes a vehicle that helps you move faster and farther in the other dimensions. And it helps you moving faster and also being secure. So this is why it is called the vehicle of light, the vehicle of ascension, ascending beyond this dimension to other dimensions, knowing beyond the reality of this dimension. Okay? Also called the vehicle of light, made of light. Why? Because the Merkaba in its structure is not a physical structure like a pyramid, not a physical pyramid. It's a structure, a pyramid, two pyramids made of light. They're not made physically. Hence, it's not a physical thing. It is really a metaphysical thing, something that is beyond the physical. Now, the Merkaba is used for two and many more purposes, but I'm going to just lay out to you quite simply the two basic purposes of the Merkaba. Number one, the Merkaba is used to activate what is called as a light body. So now we know we are a physical body, we are an energy body, we are a light body, etheric body, so on and so forth. Now, the idea of the physical body we understand, we know how to navigate, we know what to do, we know how to nourish it, we know how to maintain it, we know how to service it from time to time. The various methods, eating right, sleeping, etc., etc., exercise. When it comes to the energy body, today we are beginning to understand that it is very real, that a projection of a physical body around us is very real, and we can affect things in that space, in that energy. We know this, we practice this with modalities like Reiki, like energy healing, etc., etc. So we are studying it today and we realize that it is very real, that beyond the physical body we carry a projection of ourselves, which is the energy body. Now, beyond the energy body and a higher dimensional experience is the light body, right? Or what is called as the astral body, or the spirit, with the location where the spirit exists. Now, the difference between the physical, the energy, and the light body is, in a very short definition, the physical body is highly local, that is located in time and space. Now, a physical body is limiting. This is my reach of my physical arm, is my arm's length. I can just reach out, this one, this is the span. My energy body can extend, I can project it way farther from my hand at will. It can go distances, etc. The light body, however, is another thing altogether, because it's non-local. It's the place of the spirit. The spirit is non-local. It's beyond the limitations of our physical form. The limitations of a physical form are that of space and time. The physical form cannot be in two places at the same time. It cannot be in the past, it cannot be in the future, it cannot be here and in another city and another city, or 10 different locations at the same time. This is the limitation of the physical body. The energy body is local, but at the same time slightly more flexible than that. It can extend beyond some time and space constraint. But the light body is completely from another realm, and hence it can exist, it can move around. It is local, at the same time non-local, because location does not matter for it, etc., etc. So when it comes to the light body, when we become more aware, when we first become aware of our physicality, our energy, and extend it to the light body, now what are the tools that you can use to work with the light body, to service it, to strengthen it, to feed it, to give it space to grow, etc., etc. Now, one of the purposes the Merkaba is used for is that to affect our light body, to work with the light body. So when we activate the Merkaba, we are also activating a light body, number one. Number two, the Merkaba is used as a vehicle of transport in other realms, a vehicle. So when we activate this light body, it also becomes a vehicle that is secure, that takes you faster, farther. For specific reasons, this symbol has been held as a secret among members of mystical societies. So only high priests of mystical societies, people who have ascended and reached a certain place in their quest for spiritual knowledge and awareness or consciousness, who have risen beyond a certain mark, have only been given access to this particular symbol. Now, I will go more into details about that as well as many other things in the upcoming videos, in the series of videos on sacred geometry symbols and the Merkaba, which I will be coming up with in the future. So, the Merkaba, quite simply, why is it relevant for us today? Because the Merkaba and a host of other sacred geometry symbols have risen into mainstream consciousness at critical points of human evolution. For example, the previous time when sacred geometry symbols started to come into prominence and into the hands of more people was during the Renaissance, when humankind was slightly moving from one plane of experience to another, understanding logic, understanding science, increasing their quest for knowledge, knowing more about architecture, about sciences, about biology, about everything else. That is when sacred geometry symbols suddenly popped into prominence. Another phase in time in history when sacred geometry symbols got real prominence was when the Greek civilization was at its apex, is when a lot of these symbols were studied and used. Apart from many other civilizations like the Egyptian civilization, like um, the ancient Hebrew civilizations, which have used this symbol. But it has been restricted and kept, access has been closed and denied to people who did not understand. I will talk about it more in an upcoming video. Um, I will be talking about more on the Merkaba, and if you like this video and if you'd like to hear more from me, please click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can be notified on my upcoming videos where we explore this powerful symbol further. Well, thank you for being with me and look forward to seeing you in my next video.